What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and also today's missing person case is Thailand Purnia. Also, today's missing person case is Destiny. Today's missing person case is Haley Bible. Also, today's missing person case is Isabel Grace. Also, today's missing person case is Alexa Ware. Also, today's missing person case is Also, today's missing person case is Erin Teresa Lawrence. And today's missing person case is Jessica Marshik from What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's video What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. If you can hear me all right, could you please put a 1 in the chat for me? We've got a great video for you guys today, sent in from one of my viewers. This is a true story that happened to an Australian mother, a great lady. I've talked to her a couple times. She sent in a video almost, I think it was late last year or the beginning of this year. But her story is so wild, and I think it happened in 2017, and we'll go into that a bit later, but it's a crazy story. She worked at a bar. She was a courtesy bus driver, and what she would do is she would take the customers that were drinking and drive them home. And she only had 3 people on that bus that day. And when she dropped off the first person, there was 2 guys, and they were together, and they'd been drinking all day because it was Australian Day. And they go on to attack her while she's driving them home on the freeway. And the story is so crazy. And I'll kind of talk about it a little bit, but then she sent me a video of her explaining the story, and I don't think I could ever do it justice, so I'm going to actually play most of it, the audio that she sent me, because it's just a story you couldn't make up. It's so wild. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch me. We've got Lady M, Robert, Cat John, Bianca, Aaron, Darlene, Steve, Rosewood, Lena, thank you guys so much for tuning in. There's more people. Sweet, Caroline, thank you everybody. Julie, Elise is in here. Thank you guys so much. So we'll get into the missing first, and then we'll get into the story. And like I said, the story is so crazy. I've been kind of saving it. I was going to do just kind of a regular upload and not do a live show about it, but I just can't really recreate the atmosphere that the way she tells the story, because it's her story, obviously. So I felt like it'd be more appropriate to do it live and actually play the audio for you guys and kind of break down how she describes it, because it's so wild. It's just an amazing story of survival. So real quick, let's see. Yeah, so here we got Leona Latham, 15 years old, and I'll blow up her picture in just a second. She is a runaway in Florida. It doesn't say what part of Florida, but 15 years old, brown hair, brown eyes, last seen wearing a black hoodie, unknown shorts or pants, and white sneakers. Here's a better picture. Oh, let me go back to that one. There we go. So Runaway, Florida. I think this was posted yesterday. So anybody in Florida or in the states surrounding it, keep an eye out for Leona. And then we've got Elizabeth. Says she went missing on the 18th, so she's been missing over a month. From Mesa, Arizona, 17 years old. Brown hair, blue eyes. Just 17 years old. Elizabeth may still be in the local area. I think this is a runaway as well. So anybody in Mesa or something. Oh, yeah, we got Chris. So keep a lookout for Elizabeth there. And like I said, I'll be doing a story probably in May about the missing and when it comes to Arizona and just how many people go missing in Arizona. It's pretty wild. Yeah, all these missing kids. Yeah. So. All right, well, let's get into today's story, because I've been saving this for, like I said, many months. Oh, thank you, Chris. Good deal. So Chris says, I just took a screenshot of her photo. That's awesome. So that's what another previous live that I did, I asked if people could put where they're watching from, because I'm going to be taking some notes and kind of seeing where all my viewers are from, and kind of start picking some states that where more viewers are at is when it comes to the missing. I mean, if there's a young kid, don't matter where, I'm still going to feature, but when it's kind of slower, I'm going to try to feature people that are missing more geared towards where my viewers are at, if that makes sense. So there's a better possibility that one of my viewers that are watching will maybe one day we get lucky and someone might catch one of these people that are missing. That'd be a great payoff for this channel, and that's why I do this. So yeah, thank you, Bianca. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because, I mean, if I got everybody, let's say if I was just showing missing people in Canada, and I only got 2 people in Canada, and I've got all these people missing in, somewhere where viewers are at, I think it'd make more sense to kind of tailor some of these missing to where my viewers are at. So, all right, let me clear that. Like I said, I'm not going to give out her full name. We'll just call her Max. Wonderful lady. She's a grandmother, a mother. She was 51 at the time. So on this day, it was January 26 in 2017 in Helensville, Australia. And that was Australia Day. And that's a national holiday where Australians celebrate their history. I guess it would be kind of close to our Independence Day here in the United States. And so everybody goes out and drinks and parties and just celebrates their history. And so during that day, Max, a beautiful, caring grandmother of 51 at the time, was working as a courtesy driver for a local pub. And it's called the Salty Sports Bar. And I think it's connected also to the Saltwater Creek Hotel. But she worked at the pub, and it's called Salty Sports Bar. Back this up here. And so as she showed up to the bar that day, she immediately noticed 2 gentlemen. As soon as she walked in, that were sitting together, and just kind of gave her a bad feeling. And they were kind of looking at her, and apparently they'd said something to her that made her feel uncomfortable, a provocative statement. And so she continued to the bar. And during that time, she was helped setting up the barbecue. So it's a bar where it's got a gaming room, it's got a patio outside, and so while Max was helping set up the barbecue, she was told by another coworker that these 2 men had been thrown out of the gaming section due to heavy drinking and causing problems. So technically, they were kind of like cut off. So they've been drinking all day. I don't think she says exactly what time she shows up, but I think, like midday. is when this happened. And so they had already been heavily drunk. Porcupine pancake. Wow, am I buffering? Is anybody else buffering? Please let me know. I don't think there should be any buffering. I'm not running anything. It might be on your end, pancake. So yeah, these two gentlemen been kicked out, cut off, but that for some reason they were still allowed in the bar. And so they were not in the gaming. And this is a picture of the gaming room here. So I think they got kicked out of the main section, but they were still drinking on the patio section. And so the two men were apparently, I guess they had their own bottle of Jack Daniels or something that she noticed, and so they were still drinking throughout the day. So when 5 p.m. came around, it was time for Max, after she was done setting up the barbecue and stuff. That was her time to get the courtesy bus ready. And it's something kind of like this. It's kind of a mix between a bus and a van. And then she just drives the customers home. And let me get back to where I left off here. So she was getting settled into the bus. She had noticed that the two men were alone outside waiting to get on, as well as one other guy. So there was three customers. It was the two drunk guys and then one other customer who was by himself, waiting to get on this bus. And so she had already had a bad feeling, and it just got worse because now it's just those two men and the one guy and her that she's going to be alone with in this courtesy bus that she's driving. So, and of course, out of the two couples, it was the single guy that got dropped off first. So Max drove the first customer home, who was by himself, and now it was just her and these two guys that had been heavily drinking all day. She said she explains that these guys were kind of young men, maybe in their mid-20s, body build type. So, and good looking, she said, which is, and so she just thought it was kind of odd. She's, she's a good looking lady, and she's 51. She's a grandmother, but, so she was thinking, hoping that, nothing was going to be going on, even though she had these bad feelings. So after she drops the first guy off, which wasn't far from the bar, she heads back south, and she's going to be getting onto what they call the M1 highway, or the freeway, excuse me. And let me see. So, I went through all that. So, yeah, so they're approaching the M1 highway, and so she's approaching the on-ramp. And I kind of actually, because Australia, they drive on the left side, so I got confused and actually marked this the wrong way. She's actually going to be heading south, so say she would actually came on this way, but it's not a big deal. Let me scoot that over just a little bit. So just before approaching, or as she's approaching the merge on the highway, she noticed the two men, one of them had gotten up, and now she's approaching, she says 100 kilometers per hour, which I believe equates to about 60 miles per hour. And she notices the one guy gets up and literally wraps his arms around her waist and pins her and yells at the other guy to grab the steering wheel. And so from here, I'm going to probably just play her audio because I can't really explain exactly as in great detail as she does. Which area in Oz is this? So this is Australia. This is Helensville. And she's going to be getting on the M1 highway south, and she's headed towards what is that? Let me look at it real quick. Westfield. So she's going to be heading towards Westfield. So I'm going to play the audio for you guys. Because like I said, I can't explain it as good as she. But so these two men start attacking her, and this is where I'm going to play her audio, because this story is just so wild. And what she does and says, I think, saved her life. So I'm going to skip it a little bit ahead because she kind of describes what we just talked about.
So I was going to cook it. So during the course of the first couple of hours that I was there, and I was getting bus bridges, so I've got to go down the bottom part and go up the ramp onto the highway.
Okay, so she's just starting to describe what I just left off on, is that she's starting to get on the freeway here, and she's going to be merging. And as she's merging, this is when these two guys attack her.
We've gone from the traffic light to the ramp, and we're starting to go on the upward to get onto the highway. The first boys grabbed me, right? And we're literally at the point where we're about to start merging, and I'm at 100 kilometres an hour. I've got a ute, which is, I think you call them a truck in Australia, you know, a tray-back car. That was going past, and we were merging into traffic, and this guy behind me literally jumped me and grabbed me while I'm driving. And he...
Patricia, I'm not sure. I am very, I don't know. I'll show you after, Patricia. And I even have the article and everything. And, we'll do a little map time after to show you the area that this happened.
He's grabbed me around the waist and he's pinned me to the chair so that I can't move. And at the same time as doing that, he's shouting at the other guy to grab the steering wheel. And I'm obviously quite panicked at this stage already, and I'm doing 100 kilometres an hour. I have to keep merging with the traffic. There's traffic everywhere. I can either smash into everybody, drive off the side of the road and smash into there. Either way, I'm going to be killing everybody because I'm doing 100 kilometres an hour in a bus. So either way, I was going to cause carnage, or I had to manage this car with these two extremely drunk guys now grabbing me. So I've got this guy pinning me into the chair, and he's now shoved his second hand underneath in between the seat, and he's now doing his thing. The other guy's come over the top of me. He's got one arm over me like that, and the other arm he's trying to get the steering wheel. So all I could do was to grab the steering wheel and to try push the top part of my body over to protect the steering wheel.
Okay, so what she describes doing is, so one guy is literally like kind of wrapped, got her one arm around, and he's got his other hand actually under her bottom, and I won't go any more detail on that because it was uncomfortable to share this story with me, but just a brave lady. So one guy's kind of got her pinned back, and he's telling the other guy to grab the wheel. So what she does is she kind of scoots her butt back, and she hovers over the wheel. So she's bent over, and so she's basically got the wheel, and she's still trying to steer while this guy's trying to grab the steering wheel. So she's kind of got like her back bottom kind of like protecting herself from one guy, and then she's hovered over the wheel to keep this guy from, grabbing the wheel. And, she could have just, killed them all, or, which would have killed other people. So, I mean, she's really a hero because, this is still daytime. And there's obviously vehicles on the road. She explains that. And it's amazing, like I said, she's a hero, not only in the surviving this, but not getting anybody else killed in the process.
And straight away what clicked into my head was, and I know this is but it saved my life.
And this is huge right here.
This is the part, and I don't want you to, it's not a true crime in the way that you can do a big story on it. I just want you to be conscious of it and put this sort of information out. I had to play the game. And this is really hard to explain to people, but it's saved my life twice now.
And I think this is genius. Because, what else can she do? She's got to drive this bus. And what she's going to describe here, and I'm sorry to keep pausing it, but I'm just trying to give some atmosphere to it. But what she's going to describe, like I said, saved her life. And she'll describe this playing the game thing. And I'll kind of, because like I said, I'm just playing the audio because, she sent me a video, but I just took the audio from it because, she's, this, she wasn't prepared or anything. But the way she describes it, it's just amazing. So here we go.
I had to play the game. So while I'm in a complete panic, trying to protect the steering wheel, trying not to crash the car, got two men on top of me, I had to go, don't be so silly, boys, and kind of laugh it off while going, don't be ridiculous. And I had to keep making sure I got eye contact because I wasn't in the room. These boys, especially this one, they block you out. You always think, how can somebody do that to... I know now, they don't see you. They block you out. You're not actually a person to them anymore. You're not in the room. You're just now the toy they've got. So he's demanding all this stuff of the other guy, but what I did was kept doing the eye contact, and then I'd back on the road. Eye contact. Every time I did the eye contact, I'd smile at him and talk to him like a son and say, don't be so silly, you're so naughty, you're younger than my kids, like that, while trying to protect. And every time I'd done that, I'd get right into his head. It could have been my psychic abilities, I don't know, but I'd make sure I'd get into his head so that he was seeing me as a grandmother figure, a mother figure. And each time he got a little bit more embarrassed and he'd sit back down.
So, just two men and her. That's it. Nobody else on the bus. Because this isn't like a normal bus. It's like I said, it's a mix between a van, and I've got a picture of it. It's kind of a mix between a van and a bus. So I would say it probably seats maybe 8 to 10. I think it seats maybe up to 12 people. But yeah, so what she's describing right here is, so there's kind of like, you could say there's the puppet and the master of the two guys. And the master is the one that's got her pinned and has locked her in. And he keeps telling the puppet to, grab the wheel. But she notices that she makes eye contact with the puppet and says, oh, don't be silly, And what she's saying is playing the game. And she's laughing it off and not making it a big scene, so they're not freaking out. And she notices this guy's more of a human than the other one. They're both pigs, obviously, but this guy's at least got, is at least part human. And so she was tapping into that guy and looking at him and making eye contact. And she said every time she'd do that, it'd make him uncomfortable, and he would kind of back off for a minute. Meanwhile, this whole entire time, she's driving on the freeway. So I'll keep playing it, and I'll show you guys the route she took here.
As soon as I'd start looking at the road again, and this guy's yelling at him again, he'd jump me again. Okay, so look at the map again. So you've seen where I've come onto the highway. And
okay, let me pull this up for you guys. So, because it seems like you guys want to see. Sorry, guys, to pause it here, but let me just quickly pull up Google Earth here and just show you guys an overview. It's not far where she comes from. Saltwater Hotel. Saltwater Creek Hotel. Helensville. There it is. Okay. Let me know if it buffers. It was kind of iffy about. So let me put the layers on. That'll look better. And okay, so she started here. Now they're on this highway here. It's the M1, and I believe she's heading south, and she's not going far. And there's going to be a little place right south of here. Let me back it up just a little bit. It's going to be right here. So she's headed to Westfield here. So she's headed from here to this area here because with everything going on, because clearly there's no really any exits. So the first exit she's got is coming off here. So she ends up over here, and so all right.
It's only just a little bit off the road, up the road, and you've got Westfield Shopping Centre, and that's a down. Like it's another overpass, obviously, but I've got to go down and around a little corner to get into Westfield Shopping Centre
this
off
is
the highway.
right
So we're talking a very short space from work. Work's this road, Westfield's just over there, the other side of Helensvale, okay? So I go up that highway, I go down, I get off the main road, and I'm still crouched over. Luckily, there's a camera that's caught everything along there. Australia's great for cameras. So the overpass over the big bridge has a camera. It's caught everything, and if they zoom in, they can see everything. I've taken that detour, and as I've gone around the corner, thinking I'm going to save my life because it's one of our biggest shopping centres. It's huge. So I'm expecting there to be cars and people everywhere. And that's why I've gone there, so I can get into the shopping centre, slam the brakes on and just get out of the bus. That's what I'm thinking. So I've pulled off, I've gone around the corner. As I've gone into Westfield, and the whole three of us acknowledged it at the same time. You could have heard a pin drop in the bus. It was 100% empty. It was a ghost town. There wasn't a single person there, and this place is the most isolated place you've ever seen when there's nobody there.
So keep in mind, it's Australia's Day, so everybody's kind of out partying, I guess. And so nobody's really, I guess, I mean, I don't know what people do on Australia Day, other than, celebrate, but I'm assuming that's probably why it's not as busy, because, it's Australia Day, so, and people have been kind of, So she pulls into this shopping center, expecting it to look something probably like this, cars everywhere. And she said it looked like a ghost town. Could you imagine? You're thinking you're getting to safety. Yeah, I think that's kind of what, if anybody's from Australia knows, I think it's just kind of like they celebrate their history. And so, I guess the Independence Day would be kind of close to us. So, all right, continue playing here. So she's now pulled into the shopping center. Nobody's there. She's still got these two guys. She's still got the one guy wrapped around her. And
the panic that set into me is going through my body right now. The panic that set in, because we all know this is it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me pause it. She kind of breaks down here. I don't want to play that out of respect to her. Because she's reliving this moment, and I can't imagine what that must be like. So I'm going to skip it forward just a little bit here.
Quickly grab the steering wheel, just pull it in.
Okay, let me back it up just a little bit. Okay.
So the one behind me yelled at the other one, quickly grab the steering wheel, just pull it into the bush, we can dump the body there. And that's when I realised that they'd planned to take it to that extent. I knew they had planned to rape me, I'd already got that, but I didn't realise they were planning to kill me as well. I found out later on that it was planned from the moment I got out of the car at work.
Yeah. So they plan to assault her and then dump her body. And one of them actually admits to that. And you won't even believe the charges they got. It's amazing.
So as soon as they did that, again, I looked at the the nicer of the two. I have to say the bad one and the good one, which is how I relate to it. Neither of them are good, but in my head, the bad one, the good one. And I still don't remember their names. I don't want to. I don't acknowledge them. So I had to look at the good one, and I smiled and laughed at him and said, oh yeah, that's just funny. And then, because he was now going over the top of me and trying to literally, and I'm still being held into the seat. This guy's still got his hands all over me. He's just doing anything he can. So this guy's now seriously trying to grab the steering wheel over me. So he's got both hands grabbing the steering wheel. I can only get the top half of my body again. So what I did is I completely covered it. Sorry, I'm going to hit the camera. I completely covered the steering wheel. I pulled my arms in like that on the steering wheel so you couldn't get my arms off. I could still steer it. And I floored it. I just put my foot to the floor. And we have speed bumps in car parks, which means you have to go slow, or it goes boom, 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 like that when you go over them. And if you're in a bus, even when you're going slow, it boom, boom, boom. But I floored it. And I made sure I hit every single speed bump, and the bus was flying like that. And that kept knocking the boys off me. Not this one, because he was pinned.
Now, keep in mind, this is a smaller thing. So, like I said, it's not a big bus, it's a smaller bus. So hitting those bumps would really cause that thing to bounce.
But this one, he was flying all over the place, coming back, grabbing the steering wheel, grabbing me, flying back, coming back. And it was just an ongoing attack while I was going as fast as I could, because all I kept thinking was, if I can get to the front of the shopping centre, we've got a Domino's pizza shop. And I knew all I had to do was get to the Domino's pizza shop because it's open every day. There has to be somebody at the Domino's. I've just got to get to the Domino's. So I just held that steering wheel for dear life. I let them do whatever they thought they were doing, and I didn't care as long as I got there. We got to the corner that I had to turn to get up to the Domino's. And obviously I'm in a bus, I'm going fast. So I slam on the brakes to get the boys flying again so I can get around the corner, and then I turn around the corner and go quickly up to the Domino's, and I slam on the brakes again, open up the doors straight away. And as soon as I've done that, there's actually about 15 people around at this stage. Why didn't I call out, scream for help, blah, 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 blah? You can't bring logic into this. I did everything wrong. I'll get to that. I did everything wrong after this point. So now I'm just in relief. I know I'm safe. I've opened the doors, the boys have gotten out, and I've just taken off. Luckily, Westfield shopping centres are quite a new shopping centre. They have the most up-to-date cameras you could possibly think of. And again, this is why Australia's got good security. So their cameras aren't just in colour. They can zoom right in and they can see everything, and they're everywhere. So everything that happened in the shopping centre was caught on camera again. I went into blackout mode after that. I was just in shock. Did that really just happen? Did that really just happen? And I literally went to my next stop, which was to pick somebody up to take them to the pub, because I was in automatic mode. And I was lucky that the first person I picked up just happened to be the head of mental health in Queensland, Australia. He was actually on holidays himself, and he was the actual head of mental health. So as soon as he got into the bus, he knew something had happened, and he helped me from there. Now, I won't tell you all the stuff that happened with work, because obviously work was liable for all that, and it did go to court. The good boy, I call him the good boy, his father owns the biggest security company in Brisbane and on the Gold Coast. He worked in security. He used to work, I found out all this later, he used to work for that pub in security. He'd only just gotten married that year, and he had a 3-month-old, I think it was, baby girl. And because of everything, when it came out and when it went to court, and when the police went to his house and knocked on the door, they were both on drugs. They were off their head, and he was scared of him as much as I was. But when the police knocked on the door and said, "We're here to talk to you about what happened on Australia Day," he just broke down and said, "I'm guilty, I'm guilty." And they read out my statement, and he said, "Everything she says is, yeah, I'm guilty, I'm guilty." The other boy didn't plead guilty till the end, and then he pleaded guilty with him. So that saved us a big trial. They got a 2-year suspended sentence, and they had to pay me $1,000. So
2 years.
Wasn't that good, but anyway.
2 years. She gets $1,000. Has PTS probably for the rest of her life. From this trauma. And they get a slap on the wrist. And the one guy admitted to everything that they were going to do. And they get off with a slap on the wrist. And I'll show you part of the document. Out of respect to her, because, she didn't want to talk about the actual individual. So I kind of want to keep that separate. And I'll leave like a link or something. But, yeah, because it's just, like I said, out of respect to her.
That was the first story. But keeping in mind, I'd watched movies years ago where it had girls that have been in horrific situations, even with serial killers, and they managed to last and get away and things like that. And the way they do it is by, and it's really hard, but it's playing the game. It's by pretending you're not being attacked. It's by pretending it's not really happening, to such an extent that if they walk away, they have no thought in their head that we're ever going to report it, because they think that we didn't know we were being attacked. It's kind of a bit weird. So I want to take you to the second attack. A year ago.
So this poor lady has been through a lot. So that happened in 2017. She sent me this video, I want to say at the end of the last year. It might have been at the beginning of this year. So now in 2000... I think maybe 2020 during COVID time anyway. Another event ensues, and I'll just play a little bit of this one, but she gets put into another scenario, and that she gets out of playing the game, as she calls it. Absolutely genius, in my opinion.
It was February the 5th. My partner and I broke up. We're back together, but we'd broken up. I had a builder that was building a house a couple doors down, and he'd been watching me for a while and acknowledging me for a while, but again, I don't really pay attention to that sort of stuff. So within 10 days, I think it was, of my partner moving out, this builder turns up, and he's got a backpack, and he's knocked on my door, and I was really curious about what he wanted. And he said, he introduced himself. I didn't really know him. I'd met him once, I think. So he introduced himself. He goes, as you know, I'm renovating the house a couple of doors up. And I said, yeah, that's right. And he goes, yeah, I just wanted to know if I could see what the layout is in your house. I know they're exactly the same build. I just want to see, what they've done in this house. So being a tiny town and him being such a well-known person, I thought, it was strange. But I said, okay. And I said, I'll just put the dogs out the back first. Why did I do that? I had 2 big American staffies that could have ripped anybody apart.
So this is story number 2 for those who are just tuning in. We just played their first story, which her being attacked on the bus on the freeway. Like I said, you just can't make up this stuff. And this poor woman had already been through enough. And then another scenario happens, and she has this guy out on her porch. And I think she said she'd seen him before, and I wasn't too worried about him, but Apparently, he wanted to come in. Apparently, he was supposed to be like renovating houses or something, and so he wanted to come in and check her house because apparently it was kind of similar to the house that he was supposedly working on, and wanted to compare some things. But she had already had a bad feeling, but she let him in, and of course she let the dogs out, and so and that's what she just explained right here.
Lock them out. This man then comes in, and it wasn't until speaking to the police later, he cased the joint. He went from room to room, and he cased the joint. He would have been making mental notes on everything. I then took him back outside, and he just kept talking, and then he goes, oh, and then he sat himself down on the outside porch, and then he just kept talking for, no matter how many times I tried to sort of like break the conversation and we'll go back in, and he was taking drinks out of his backpack. The backpack was full of alcohol, and he was drinking and drinking and drinking. And I was getting uncomfortable, and I was saying, oh, look, you're going to have to leave now, you're going to have to leave now. And he goes, okay, well, and he gets up, puts the backpack on, he goes, oh, I've just got to use the bathroom before I go, I've had a few drinks. So I said, okay. So I let him go to the bathroom, he knew where it was, and I stayed outside. And I made sure I stayed outside. I was being cautious.
Which was smart.
Come back out. So eventually...
Which was the smart thing to do, is to stay outside. If some stranger's in your house, stay outside. You know, obviously if he's alone. But she kept waiting, thinking this guy was going to use the bathroom, come back out, no big deal. She's sitting there waiting outside of her house, and the guy never comes back out. And so we'll go from here.
I just went back in, just the front door, just a few steps. And then I seen him, like the bathroom's the next room, and then the bathroom's on one side, the kitchen's like this side. And I see him come out of the kitchen. He's got 2 wine glasses, and he's filled them both with wine that he's got in his backpack, obviously. And he goes, oh, I thought we'd just have a wine together before I go. And then he goes over and sits himself down in my lounge room, puts the glasses down, and he's talking and talking and talking, so you can't get a word in, you can't. And apparently this is all, after talking to the police, this is all practiced. It's all practiced how they do this. So he sat himself down. So I've sat myself on a single chair, so I'm not anywhere near him. And he said, oh, you should come sit next to me. And I said, no, I don't want to drink either. I said, I'm really tired. I want to go to bed. So if you can just finish that up. And again, I'm trying to get rid of him. He then lies down on my couch. And again, he's talking and talking and talking. He's talking like concerts, because we're both music fans and we're both into Pink Floyd, and we're the same age group. We're into AC/DC. We're into, all the same stuff. And as he's talking again, he's just putting down these drinks. So again, when I finally get a word in, I said, look, I want to go to bed. It's getting late now. And I told him I wanted him to leave. He then adjusted his position so he was closer to me. And it wasn't until I talked to the police when they told me, this is like casebook how these men do it, and it's really important women get onto it. And then when he sat there, he was straight away in my area. I've got post-traumatic stress from the last attack. So another strange man getting in, I'm really uncomfortable. So what I did is I stood up to get away, and he straight away stood up with me, and that's when he got me the first time. So we won't go into any too much details, all right? We're just going to say that's when he got me the first time.
Yeah, so she doesn't talk too much on this story because she's already, just went through the first traumatic story with me, telling me about, with the bus situation. But yes, obviously there's more details. He tries to obviously assault her, and we'll just leave it at that.
I've then gotten away from him, but again, I've got to play the game because I can't let it get to the next stage, so I've got to pretend that stage didn't happen.
So that's so brilliant. What she says right there is got to pretend that stage didn't happen. The awkward making the suspect think, or the killer, potential killer, freak out, where this is at the no point area where, like, oh shit, I've got a killer, I've already assaulted her. She's acting like that didn't happen. That's what she's trying to convey. I think it's brilliant.
And it's strange how it works. But I literally had to pretend like that didn't happen and then keep talking about something that was completely irrelevant while I'm walking away. So he's following behind me as I'm walking away. I'm in a panic, but not letting him know. And then he's grabbed me from behind again as a hug. But as I'm trying to turn around to push him, and I've got my arms like this, I'm trying to protect myself in every way possible. But as I'm turning around to try to get him away, God bless my cat. My cat's just run right up me. I've grabbed the cat and she's just swatted him right across the face really, really well. So that's driven him back a bit. I'm then...
God bless the cat. God bless the cat. That's why I love cats. Love all animals, but I love cats the most.
Able to get around. He's still got his hands going, and I've pushed him away. And again, I've laughed it off. And I've said, look, I've really got to go to bed. You've got to leave now. You're just getting far too drunk, and it's time for you to go home. And I'm talking to him like that, like it's a big joke, and you've just been silly. And I went straight up, quickly opened the door, and I walked out the front.
This happened, I think this was 2020, because she says it happened a year ago, and I think she sent this to me either at the end of last year or at the beginning of this year, so 2020 or 2021. But, yeah, about a year ago, or a little over a year ago, I guess now.
So he had to come out with me because I'm still doing all the talking now, and I'm making it a joke, so... I'm in the front yard. He has to follow me. And it's all a joke so he can feel comfortable. He doesn't have to chase me. It's all still comfortable, he thinks. When we got out the front yard and I'm holding the cat, I can't even remember, was I still holding? No, I think the cat's run off by this stage. But I'm out the front, and again, he's come up within my space, but I've sort of kept back. But he has grabbed me that, again, out the front. So again, I've had to get off him, push him away, speaking to him like he's a naughty boy and he's drank too much, laughing it off and telling him, get away, come on, I've got to go. And then I've quickly gone in as quick as I can. I've gotten past him now. I've gotten into the house and I've started locking up the house. I let the dogs in. I'm safe. Then I fell apart.
Yeah, that's a great... Yeah, thank you, Copper Horse. Yeah, folks, to understand why some messages are deleted, YouTube has a list of certain trigger words we can't use in the chat. Thank you for all the respect and love. Yeah, so I just... Because I know people are all being supportive, and I know this brings up some different emotions for everybody. But yeah, just be careful when you're putting what you put in the chat, because even when you put, like, let's say if you put ass... and you put a dollar, the money sign, I think it still flags it. And then it kind of causes the mods to delete it, not because they want to delete your comment, but because it's got swear words in it. So just if you can, try to work around the certain words if you guys can. Then it'll make it easier on the mods, because they don't, we like freedom of speech, but, YouTube and when it comes to cuss words, it just flags everything.
Now, because I did play it that way, he turned up again 2 days later thinking that he'd gotten away with it the first time. I was really lucky because I straight away got somebody to stay with me. Really lucky. So I've got my nephew in the house. He's sitting on the chair, right? He's only just turned up. I haven't even told him the story yet. I've just told him that he has to move in because I need someone in the house to protect me.
Yes.
So he's sitting in the chair. The dogs start barking. They're actually outside the back again, but I could hear them barking. I'm like, what are the dogs barking at? So I went over to the door And as I've opened up the door, there he is standing there again with his backpack. And I've quickly closed the door over again, and he's jammed his foot in to stop it. And I've just said, what are you doing here? After the way you carried on the other night, I said, with your hands all over me, carrying on like an idiot, drinking it. I said, you weren't even invited then. You're not invited now. Get out of my house. And he goes, what are you talking about? We had a great night. And I said, I have somebody here to protect me now, to make sure you don't come back to my house. I have protection in my house now. He then pushed the door, pushed me in, and came into the house to call my bluff, to see if I was telling the truth. Luckily, my nephew was there. So from then, he took a step back out. I told him off, and he left. I went to the police and reported him, and this is a tiny town, and I'm going to tell you the police's reaction. Oh, that's just Steve. He gets drunk and does that all the time. He's harmless. Don't worry about him.
Harmless.
I was there for about 2 hours, and they wouldn't take a statement. They refused. They told me they'd go talk to him, but they would not take a statement.
That's crazy.
I then went into town, and after bawling my eyes out in the shop and getting taken out the back because they needed to help me, I found out that several months before that happened to me, he'd done it to another woman. And a couple of days after that, I was talking to another lady, and she told me that she was currently being harassed by him, and he was trying to get through her door, through her window. She lived alone. And I said, have you been to the police yet? And she said, yeah, I've been twice. And I said, what did they tell you? And she repeated word for word, oh, that's just Steve. He gets drunk and carries on like that. He's harmless. Ugh. So from there, I decided, well, he's not harmless. So we went to this sexual assault unit in Horsham, which is two towns away, about an hour and a half drive away. And we reported everything direct to the sexual assault unit.
So I'll leave it there. So apparently she's still dealing with this current predicament because this guy apparently is fighting his charges, and it's actually costing her money for something that she had. It's not her fault, and it's just I feel absolutely terrible for her. But what a great lady for her to be able to share those two stories with us. I mean, just that story of the bus alone being attacked on the bus by two men is just absolutely crazy. I'm going to show this real quick, and I'll put the link in the video after I'm done. But here's the one guy here of the two gentlemen, and here's the other guy of the two creeps here. And this is the little document about what happened. But yeah, they got something like 2 years of like a probation, and they had to pay her $1,000. Absolutely crazy. Something needs to change if that's. I mean, admitting to what they were going to do to her. I just. Like I said, she goes, she explains that, one of them, has some pull, because their father was like the head of security or something. And so clearly there were some things that were worked behind the scenes that got these guys out of some big trouble, I think. In my opinion, they should still be in prison. But... So I'll put the link because I didn't want to put any names or anything just because out of respect for her, because it was hard enough for her to tell that story without bringing up the guys that did it. But absolutely crazy. If you're just showing up, I would definitely rewatch this. The first story with her in the bus is just something you just can't make up, and I feel absolutely terrible. And but like I said, great lady. She's I think she's been working on her own YouTube channel, and she's kind of doing some psychic stuff. She always felt like she's kind of got that psychic ability. I know that's kind of a gray area for some people, but just a wonderful lady, and for her to be able to share that story, to open up about that is amazing. So I just want to thank her for doing that. If you guys hadn't heard, they did, just to recap, I won't go too much in it. I might go do another live tonight about the Ileana story. For those that may have not heard, the 10-year-old girl that was murdered. Oh, oops, I'm typing a tweet. What am I doing? The girl that was found murdered yesterday. Was it yesterday? Near her home, Ileana, aka Yes Lily. They did find out who murdered her. It ended up being her 14-year-old cousin. I think he's 14-year-old. Don't put any names in the chat, please. Just initials. But so that's good that they found who killed her, though. Thank you, Cat John. Donated by 3 amazing rescue dogs in support of today's Among Human Lady. Yeah, thank you. By 3 amazing rescue dogs in support of today's Among Human Lady. Yeah, thank you so much, Cat John, for the $10. So yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick, and we'll just go over the quick details real quick. Oh, thank you, Elise, for the $5. Oh, my computer's going slow for some reason here. 18. Murdered. I gotta get her full name here. Yeah, from Chippewa. So it was 2 days ago. Okay. Oh. Oof. I have to look at these words. Okay, so this just came out too. But the suspect was in court today. And I'm not going to read this. You can read it. But it was her own cousin that did this. She was at her aunt's. She went for a little bike ride. She went through this little park area. Apparently, he was waiting for her in the park. And apparently the cousin's parents, I believe, are not good people. He didn't have a good support system to begin with. But yeah, he admitted to what he did. He's held on a $1 million bond. Confessed to what he did. So they've been just releasing the initials, which is good because, he is still a juvenile. So let's see. So he appeared today with first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree SA, first-degree assault of a child under 13. Prosecutors said the teenager told police his intention was to rape and kill the victim from the get-go when they left the house together. Oh, so they left the house together and they headed along a nearby trail on Sunday. Apparently he punched her in the stomach, knocked her to the ground, hit her with a stick and strangled her and assaulted her. She was sadly discovered on a Monday. And then he was arrested yesterday. and then he had a little court hearing today. I'll see if I can play it. Let me know if it buffers. I apologize if it buffers. Let's see if I can hear it.
The state understands the state is asking for a very
Oops.
high cash bond for a defendant of 14 years of age, but given the statements that the defendant made to law enforcement that his intention was to rape and kill the victim from the get-go when he left the house with the victim going down the trail, the state believes that there is a need to protect the community and also a concern regarding the defendant fleeing, given the severity of the punishment he is facing for all three of these charges. That gives him a very big incentive not to resolve the matter and to flee the area, but the protection of community also is necessary in this case, given his state.
Okay. Yeah, her favorite color was purple. Yeah, I might be causing it to buffer. Yeah, her own cousin, exactly. Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there because it might be covering. But yeah, her people have been putting purple hearts. Yeah, okay, I just pulled that off. Yeah, my apologies on the buffering. It should come back. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, her favorite color is purple. So people have been putting purple hearts. I think it. I don't know. Was it a step cousin? I think it was an actual cousin. I don't think it was a step cousin. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, for the. Yeah. Yeah, I won't play. It should come back, guys. Next hearing on May 5th. Yeah, I don't know. We might dive into that coming in May. We're going to be doing going to Skinwalker Ranch. Should be back. Everything back to normal. Screen is froze, but audio is playing fine. Uh-oh. How is it now, guys? Let me know. I apologize. How is it now? Fine on this end. Okay. Yeah, it's... some of those websites, they got so many ads on them that it just... it causes me to buffer. And as you guys know, I've got Comcast. We're waiting for... fiber internet to come through, and we're going to switch over, so we don't have to worry about this buffering issue anymore. So I might, I don't know, I might touch on Liliana's case. It's such a terrible situation. I don't know, we'll see. But so while I finish today's live, let me just go over the pets. I haven't gotten any new pets ready yet, so I'll be doing that for next live. So this is Milo. We'll just quickly go through the ones I have. This is Calvin. This is Dotson from Chihuahua Dotson. From Christy B, this is Pablo and Sam. This is Cindy. And this is also for Christy B. That's Leo. It's Soja and Sasha from Desert Lover. Looks like a two-headed dog. That's so funny. Alfie and Zuzu from Aaron. We got Jill. This is a tuxedo cat. Floyd. Oh, he's such a chunky boy. I love big kitties. This is from Kit. This is Squeakers. This is Oksana and Green Bean from Painted Gourds. This is Runcie from Coastal Butterfly. Yeah, Brenda, I'm sorry. Yeah, we just want to use the initials, Brenda. Yeah. Yeah, just because he's he's a juvenile. Thank you. So Carly, this is Lily. Also from Carly, this is Logan. And there's Logan again on his back. And there's Dotson. This is from Christy B. This is Flake. There's another one of Leo. This is from Erica Berg, Karma and Lucy. This is from Felicia, Cash Marley, and Piper Lee. Another one of them. This is from Grizzly True Crime Gizla, Fury. This is from Jenna. This is Daisy. Another one from Jill, Brown Nose Lab, Jake, and Ozzy with the 2 eyes. Ozzy again. This is from Just Shay. There's Coda. We got Scooter, Loki, and another one from Loki. That's from Kay. And from Lady M, we've got, I believe, COVID in blue. This looks like a little koala bear. I don't know what the hell this thing is, but it's so darn adorable. It looks like a little koala bear. Oh my god, it's so cute. And then there's the chicken from Lady M. Sammy Boo Boo from Mimi. I don't have the name. I forget the name for this. This is from Sandy. Screaming Crimes. This is Winnie. This is from Sharon. And this is Lily. And I didn't get the name on that, but that's Sue. I think that's from Sue. Alright. So, yeah, Huskies are... Oh, they're all adorable. So, anyway. So, I've got part 3 for John Benet Ramsey coming. And in May, we're going to be doing... I'm going to try to go... My birthday, they're doing the trial for Troy Driver, because we haven't touched on that case for a while. So I might do that on my birthday, the Troy Driver case. And then also that week, we're going to do the Skinwalker Ranch. So those will be coming up, those videos. And then if you just became a member, I'll be updating the intro video with all the new people. All my new members, so I appreciate all the work and support you guys have given me. And then there's one more. Obviously, Delphi. I've got a couple more things that I'm going to be doing for Delphi as well. And maybe hopefully if I do Delphi. Oh, and then of course I know what I was trying to think of. Brandon Lawson. As you know, we started doing the Brandon Lawson case, and I've got Tom in working with me. He's doing some control tests right now. Some really good tests. Trying some different things out with the recording. I'm still breaking down the recording of the Brandon Lawson. And if you haven't heard the Brandon Lawson recording, let me play it for you one time if you haven't heard of it. Like I said, I'm going to be breaking it down even more.
9/2013 0:50 and 38.
But this was left from Brandon Lawson. He was driving to his father's house, and he didn't make it. And apparently there was a 911 call. Before that, he called his brother saying he was being chased by some Mexicans. And then he called 911, and this is the 911 call.
Seconds. 911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. You got to take the pictures to the woods. Please burn.
Okay, now run that by.
The one I talked to home. I sure you ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello?
So we're going to be doing some more stuff with that. We'll be doing part 3. And we'll be doing more of the purse dance, please. You guys want the purse dance? Will we do it one more time? I haven't played it for a while. All right, we'll do it. Just for you, because you asked for it. All right, let's do it, Kate. All right. This for you guys for one more time. I'm going to be doing a new one, so... you guys can, just please smash that like button. Before you guys head out. Okay, just don't try that home. Don't try that at home, folks. That took a lot of years of practice. See, yep, see, almost got injured right there. Alright, everybody. I appreciate you guys tuning in, taking your time out of your day to watch me. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a new one. We're going to be retiring that dance. But yeah. Yeah, the Gary Hughes. Yeah, I'm going to have to retire him for a while because I don't want to make it look like I'm, picking on him or something. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I don't know. Maybe go live tonight. I might just do an upload for the members. If you want to become a member, I do kind of after dark specials. I just kind of give my thoughts on the current live show we do. I don't do it every live show, but maybe every other live show I kind of do an extra for a members only. Just kind of share my thoughts that I didn't get to touch on during the live. So, but anyway, guys, I love you guys so much, and we'll probably see you guys, if not tonight, tomorrow.